Welcome to Perfectly Balanced Co. This channel is where we translate human design transits into real life. We talk about how the energy of the week actually shows up in your relationships, your nervous system, your decisions, and your emotional clarity. Each week I walk you through the sun, earth, moon, and supporting planets so you can work through the energy instead of reacting to it. My hope is that it helps you build emotional maturity, energetic awareness, and self-trust. Because without self-trust, we really struggle to make decisions that are best for us. So let's step into this week. The sun is in gate 55, the earth in gate 59. We move from gate 30, intensity, into gate 55, spirit. It lives in the solar plexus. It amplifies the mood, spiritual connection, and emotional faith. This is not going to be a logical week. It's going to be a very emotional feeling week. So you might feel some deep inspiration, some deep gratitude. Sometimes it comes out as emotional emptiness or restlessness or this kind of craving for meaning. Gate 55 asks a very simple question that you can connect in for this week and see how you feel. The question is, can you honor your emotional wave without trying to fix it? When we try to force positivity, this gate feels miserable. And when we allow the wave and the abundance to return naturally, this wave excels, expands, and creates so much abundance. So what's grounding this energy is gate 59 in the earth. This is intimacy, dissolving walls, it's sexual and emotional closeness. Gate 59 penetrates barriers. It exposes where you're guarded and where you want connection, but you're afraid of it. So together, Gate 55 says, do you feel emotionally alive? And Gate 59 says, are you willing to let someone see you while you feel it? So this is not a surface level week. This is all about emotional honesty and relational exposure. So let's move to the moon. The moon has a very fluctuating experience. It moves through many gates this week. And I'm just going to talk my way through these so that you can kind of understand the energy of emotions that we'll be moving through. So the first one is Gate 37, family themes or community themes. Gate 63, mental doubt. Gate 22, emotional expression. Gate 36, crisis or emotional friction. Gate 25, innocence and openness. Gate 17, opinions. Gate 21, control. Gate 51, shock. Gate 42, growth cycles. Gate 3, beginnings. Gate 27, nurturing. Gate 24, mental return. Gate 2, direction. Gate 23, structuring thoughts. Gate 8, contribution. Gate 20, presence. And Gate 16, skills. So to understand the moon moving through all of these different gates, I'm going to tell you a little story of how they might show up for you throughout the week this week. In the beginning of this, we are noticing where we feel responsible, where we feel loyal, where we feel tied to certain agreements, and then doubt creeps in. We start questioning something. Did I say the right thing? Am I being understood? Is this stable? And right after that, the emotions surface. Maybe you say something vulnerable, maybe someone else does, maybe it comes out softer or sharper than expected. And your mood might come out. Maybe a little bit of friction, a moment of tension, a misunderstanding, or a flare of emotional heat. And then there's some emotional crisis energy. It's not catastrophic, but it is a little intense. After that, there's innocence again. You realize maybe nobody was trying to hurt anyone. Maybe everyone was just navigating their emotional wave, and the room softens. But opinions start to form. You get clear about what you think, they get clear about what they think, and now control enters. Who decides? Who leads? Who sets the boundary? And then something unexpected. A shock, a realization, a comment that changes the tone of the whole dynamic. After that, things start to move forward. You see what needs to grow, what needs to complete, and what needs to end. And then a new beginning emerges. It's not dramatic, it's just a little reset. And then someone comes in and nurtures a kind word or a small act of care, maybe a meal, a hug, or a pause. And when it's quiet, you replay everything in your mind. You revisit the conversation, you reanalyze what was said, and you eventually find direction. You see where this is heading, you know what your next step is, you structure your thoughts, you articulate what you mean, and you contribute something clearer, a little more refined. This helps you become present, to stop spinning and just be here. And finally, you realize you learned something. You developed a skill, maybe emotional regulation, maybe communication, maybe some boundaries. You come out of this feeling like you have taken a step forward and grown a little bit in who you are. Alright, so now that you understand the moon's story a little better, let's move through the rest of the planets, and then we'll finish up with the North Node, South Node. Alright, so let's go to Mercury, which is all about communication. We have Mercury in gate 22 all week this week, which means that communication becomes emotional. Gate 22 is grace and mood-based expression. People will speak from feeling, and you'll notice that tone matters more than the content itself. If someone is withdrawn, it's emotional timing. If someone is expressive, it's also emotional timing. A good note here is to not force conversations when the mood is low. Allow those connections through communication to come naturally and in the right timing. Then we have Venus, which is all about love and values. And this is in gate 37 to begin with, moves into gate 63, and then gate 22. So our relationships go through phases this week. Early in the week, they are around family and friends and our community and who we feel loyal to. Midweek, it may be more focused on questions about who we trust and if we have enough clarity to make decisions around things that are important to us. Late in the week, it becomes more about emotional expression, and the softness returns here. So give yourself and everyone else a little grace. Let your emotions and your relationships breathe here this week. Then we move into Mars, which is all about action and passion and our drive. And that is in gate 49 in the beginning, and then moves into gate 30. Gate 49 brings emotional triggers around boundaries and around standards, and you might notice some reactions happening. It's wanting change. So with Mars moving to gate 30, that reignites the desire and the emotional intensity that we were feeling last week in the sun. So there may be some things coming up around the standards that you hold and the things that you want to change. And then it might move into desire. So be careful not to act from wounds here and to let clarity come, because that's going to happen later after this week. The changes that we're going to want to make and the desires that we're going to have aren't going to fully come to fruition till later. So allow them to come up and be noticed this week. So then let's move to Jupiter, which is all about growth and abundance and expansion. And this has been in gate 53, and it'll continue to be in gate 53 this week. It's about beginnings. Retrograde means reviewing growth. What have we grown in? What have we started impulsively? What things are starting to show expansion, or what things are expanding slower than we thought they would? And it's helping us be a little bit more intentional on what we start. Then Saturn is all about discipline and structure and responsibilities, and it is again in 25, which is innocence and universal love. The question it's asking here is, are you acting from open-heartedness or from ego and defensiveness? And this actually stabilizes gate 55 beautifully. It reminds us that it's really important to stay soft but grounded. So it's giving us a little help in the sun experience this week. Then we have Uranus, which is all about individuality and unpredictability, and it is in gate 8 again, which is contribution. You can expect unexpected insights, and mostly about your role and the individuality that you bring. You might feel called to express something that's uniquely yours here. Then we have Neptune, which is in spirituality and compassion, and that is also in gate 25. So expect spiritual softness. Be careful not to romanticize emotional states. See if you can stay embodied in your spirituality this week. Then we have Pluto, which is all about transformation, power, and deep change. And that is, again, in gate 41, which is seed energy. Something new is still forming underneath the surface, and its focus is around emotional intimacy patterns that are evolving at a deep level. So this would be really good to notice what new things are forming around your own personal emotional intimacy. Now, I did a video already about the North Node change a while ago, so I'll link that here so you can go check that out if you were interested afterwards. But the North Node is all about the future, which is in gate 37, which is focused on community. So what we're looking forward to is healthy agreements, mutual support, shared responsibility. We're moving toward aligned emotional bonds. And then the South Node is in gate 40, which the South Node is focused on the past and understanding the past. And what we're understanding in gate 40 is overworking and maybe isolation. So proving our worth through isolation or feeling like we needed to earn our belonging. And gate 55 and 59 directly support this nodal shift by helping us feel deeply, connect honestly, and to stop isolating emotionally, but also to trust the timing of when it is time to connect and when it is time to take time for ourselves. So this week, to integrate Try not to make permanent decisions based on temporary moods. Let your emotional wave complete. This process of completion gives us so much more awareness and understanding of what's going on, and we have wisdom from our experiences to really help us form the right opinions and decisions to help us move forward. If intimacy feels scary, go slow. If you crave connection, try speaking gently. If your standards feel like they're being triggered, see if you can regulate first. This week is a practice to check in with our emotional maturity before shutting down and our vulnerability without oversharing. This is all about gaining closeness without losing ourselves. If this weekly overview helps you orient your week, we have more layers coming. There's a guided meditation for gate 55 and 59 that will be released shortly to help you regulate and ground this emotional energy. You can listen to it every morning just to help you set the tone for the day. And after that, we have a full affirmation loop that's designed to imprint emotional stability and healthy intimacy into your nervous system. So if you need something to listen to while you're cleaning or riding in the car, anything that you want to listen to and not be distracted, this is great to have in the background, just on loop, playing over and over again. And every single day, we post daily shorts breaking down the current transit so you can stay aligned in real time and not have to remember this entire video. If you want deeper support on how this specifically hits your chart, I do offer mini readings, and they will be linked below. And if you're interested in more content like this, you can check out our website at www.perfectlybalanced.co to get more and to support our mission to help others find acceptance and love for the unique energy they bring and experience each day.